Tuned into the Shadowsphere. Welcome to the Shadowsphere, where the whispered truth comes in loud and clear. Laugh in the dark as the clues appear. Yeah, we shine that light in the Shadowsphere.
Thanks for tuning in and welcome to the Shadowsphere. Scals, hit record.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Shadowsphere. Today, I am joined by a man that has been bullying me for the last few days to get him on the show. He is a part of the industry. He is an asshole among the Canadian Deathmatch fans. He is an asshole to the Canadian Deathmatch management. He is Matthew Grant. How are you doing?
That's how we're starting this? That's really how we're starting this. Okay, so first off, no, you don't get to interrupt my time now. You did your stupid little intro. You had your 30-second stupid thing where you didn't even give me the heads up that was happening. You didn't invite not only just me, but any member of the industry in the stupid big let's promote Canadian Deathmatch, but not promote the industry because let's not promote the actual talent on the show. I understand. I get it. However, we're going to do this properly. Almost 10 years in professional wrestling. 20 championships won in this business. Wrestled all over Canada in the United States. A member of the best group that Canadian Deathmatch has to offer. The president of professional wrestling, Matthew Grant. There we go. I figured, somebody do your job for you since, clearly you missed a couple of lessons when you were starting this podcast thing. I don't know.
Yeah, or I'm just dealing with a guy that shops at Baby Gap, whichever you want to prefer.
Hey, man, Lincoln Park all day.
No, but on a real, man, how are you doing?
Not too bad. As much as I portray quite the asshole sometimes. The reason why I do what I do is because I love professional wrestling. And that's obviously why you do what you do, why fans go to shows, why professional wrestlers put themselves through the stuff that they do. It's because we love this. So
tell me a bit about yourself. You said 20 years in now. You've read.
No, not 20, 10.
Oh, my bad.
Don't put that much on.
Hey, man, we got to gimmick it up a bit. 20 years in the business.
Yeah, amp those numbers up, the wrestling style.
10. My apologies. It's outside today. I'm out on my day off. With the belts behind you, man. Tell me, what are these ones behind you? Are they? I can't really see them right now, but
we got the Pro Wrestling Ontario Openweight Championship. It's a custom version of it. Fun fact: it was supposed to be brought out on screen at one point. Things kind of fell through. We didn't get to that point, so it's kind of just a commemorative thing at this point. Very cool. That is the FEW North American Championship. It's my ode to Hamilton's own, my former traveling buddy, Ethan Page.
Yeah.
A title I won in Indiana, a title I actually just lost. So it's up on the wall for good now. And then that is the HWE Television Championship. HWE is a company that hasn't been around for a little while now. But I had the pleasure of being the last television champion. I was their tag team champion at one point, as well as their cruiserweight champion. So, very, very grateful for the opportunities I've had. And then I figured if we're going to do this title thing, we might as well continue to do it. I am also one half of your current and forever GCW tag team champions as well. So, doing really, really well for myself in terms of the accolades in the last 10 years. I've been grateful for promoters giving me the opportunities that I've been given and try to just pay it forward and give 110% every time.
That's awesome, man. I mean, there's guys that are like 15 years in that don't even have half of that belt collection that you've got going. So kudos to you on that.
Thank you.
Just for the American listeners, not GCW as in game-changing wrestling. That is great Canadian wrestling.
Correct. Although you GCW fans may recognize me from getting taken out by the Invisible Man during Sandman's last match at Joey Janela's Spring Break. So that was quite the
experience. Was that you?
That was me. I got clotheslined inside out by that dastardly Invisible Man.
Man, how do you get yourself into these spots, man? You've been everywhere.
So that one in particular, I'll give full credit where credit is due. For a long time, people seeing quite the interesting relationship we had online. But we've squashed things, and honestly, he got me an opportunity, Mr. Mike Clark. He was the one who kind of slid into my DMs, presented the opportunity to me because I was going to be down there in Vegas anyways, and I was like, yo, like how can you pass up an opportunity to potentially do Joey Janela's spring break, as well as I was doing it with like a lot of people that I am friends with here in Ontario, guys like Pretty Ricky Wilde. You had Ryan Donovan, you had Bradford Montague, you had Brad Myers, you had Jamie Franchuk. Brad and Jamie are two guys who I've literally watched grow in this business alongside me. So to be able to share that moment with them and to be on the ground when Mick Foley's music hit with over 2,000 people there is a moment I'm never going to forget. That's for sure.
Man, I'm turning off my camera. Just heating up a little bit. We're still here. We're chatting. I'm not going anywhere. Just letting you know.
Oh yeah.
But dude, the fact that you had mentioned All Ego, what was Hamilton's own, of course.
Yep.
What was that like coming up with him in the system?
So it was cool, man. Traveled several different car rides with him to Cleveland, to Chicago. I was able to like really see him in those ditches, doing those drives and being on that grind, earning where he is today. Like the dude has absolutely earned where he is. He is the epitome of a professional. A lot of what I do, and not only just inside the ring, but outside the ring, is modeled off of his blueprint. He's so good at what he does, and I'm very grateful to have been around him as much as I had been, between the drives, between being his main referee for Alpha One Wrestling for a good 2-3 years. Like the amount of people that I got to work with through him, I'm gonna be forever grateful for that platform and for him as well. It's insane. It's genuinely insane to see. To pull up my TV, to pull up Netflix every Monday night, and to see him on TV. It's absolutely incredible.
It's the epitome of, hey, my boys are doing well, they're doing successful, you're cheering them on,
Yeah,
you're not being jealous and envious.
No, that's the biggest thing about wrestling, man. I see so many egos, so many people that like bring negativity upon the scene, and man, that's the last thing I want to see. I want to see wrestling grow. I want to see my friends do well. I don't even care if I like you or not. If you're helping this scene grow, if you're trying to get better every single day, then what can I hold against you, right?
Oh, 100%. You're 10 years in, like you said, or as I said, 20. But you're 10 years in. What's the biggest differences you're noticing between when you started and now? Like, are you seeing a big change in the locker rooms and the talents? And what are we doing?
I mean, definitely the locker rooms. Like a lot of the guys that I started out with are no longer really around. Like the Justin Sains, the Scotty O'Shea's, the Alessandro Del Brunos. Like these guys are. Some of them are still around, but they're not in locker rooms nearly as much anymore. And it's crazy to me seeing the transition through the generations. Now being around for as long as I have been, which is pretty mind blowing when I think about it. It was just, where are we? Almost in June. So yeah, March was my 9 years, coming on my 10th year. And it's like, and then before that, I was doing the podcast just like you. I was refereeing, doing ring announcing, kind of presenting any opportunity or taking any opportunity that was presented to me and running with it. And that's what I continue to do with professional wrestling throughout these 10 years. I mean, whether I'm in an opening match, whether I'm in a main event match, whether I'm in a gimmick match, a tag team, a trios, whatever you want from me, whatever I can do to better the story, present the show in a grand way, promote the show. There's all these different elements that I've learned over the years that are super duper important besides just the wrestling aspect. So making yourself a commodity is a big thing. Like I do all my social media work. I do all the graphic design that comes out for me, as well as like for some companies, I do social media for some companies. Like it's all these things that you can do to make yourself an asset on not just the wrestling side, where like you go out there and I mean, myself, I can be a bad guy. I can be a good guy. I can do deathmatch. I can do regular wrestling. I try and do whatever I can. So whatever a promoter needs from me, I can give 110% and hopefully better the show, because that's at the end of the day, when you're a professional wrestler, that's what your goal should be. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Do you want to get your shit in? Do you want to make some money? Do you want to, whatever the case may be, whatever your goals are? Yes, but your number one goal at the end of the day, well, besides protecting yourself and your opponent, should be to better the show and to promote the show and to treat every show like the WrestleMania, because those are the things that are very important and make you stand out. And that's what I've been told personally over the years, is everything that I do in presenting myself as a brand has made me stand out amongst the bunch. And that's why I'm, in Indiana every month. I'm going to Ohio this weekend for Mega Championship Wrestling. I'll be in, Utah in August. I've got a lot of things on the horizon right now where it's like I put myself in a position with my brand and have built myself up as a commodity. So that way I am a commodity when these promoters want to use me.
So what I'm hearing is you're the most wanted man in the indie scene. You are a company guy for the company guys that will want to be the company guy. You work your ass off, whether it be backstage cleaning up, in-ring cleaning up, in-ring fighting, helping with the graphics. You're in it for the love of the game more than the money it sounds.
Absolutely, man. And don't get me wrong, it's a business. So money is important, but I love wrestling. It's all I've wanted to do since I can remember. My first memory of being a kid is sitting in a high chair watching the Undertaker Mankind promo for the Hell in a Cell match and being absolutely terrified. So this is something I've loved for as long as I can remember. So the fact that I get to do it on a weekly basis, the fact that I get to travel, the fact that I get to do this with some of my best friends, my brother, my wife, it's the best. And I'm very grateful for the life that I live.
That is an amazing. Just like you, I've kind of built my brand on Shadow, and then on the top is a brand of mine and Scales. We build it. We like to stand out. We might not be the biggest, the flashiest, but we're here. We're doing things right. We're doing it correctly. Yep. We try to help where we can. I know right now you're not a big fan of Canadian Deathmatch. I am. And I'm trying to help them grow a little bit more to audiences. Maybe they are. I'm trying to help them expand out of Ontario a little bit, which you guys already do an incredible job doing.
I don't have to like the people behind the scenes of Canadian Deathmatch, but I can give them the credit where credit is due. They present a product unlike something I've never seen something so well presented, especially the Germania Club of Hamilton. There's so many promotions that run that venue. They make it look different from the rest of those shows that run there, and that's very important. The roster that they use a vast different roster from anybody else in the area. They're bringing in guys from outside of the area. They're mixing guys up that hadn't normally been mixed up before. Hell, before Canadian Deathmatch, I don't think I was going to be ever doing a death match unless there was the absolute right call for it. And when Canadian Deathmatch gave me the opportunity, I presented certain aspects where I don't think I would necessarily be comfortable. And they were like, okay, we'll respect those boundaries. And that's one thing that immediately stood out about Canadian Deathmatch to me, was the fact that they were willing to respect those boundaries, those limits that other promoters in the past hadn't. I've had opportunities to do that match. I've had offers to do death matches before, but it's got to be that right time, right place, right call, and the right opponent as well, because
you got to be able to trust your partner in that ring, right?
It's like with a regular match already, you've already got to worry about that. But death match is a completely different beast.
Naturally, you're adding so many elements to it, right? So
yeah. So
with respect to, I'm not trying to cut you off. With respect to what you're saying, can I ask what some of the boundaries are that you have when it comes to that, or you'd rather not speak on it?
the biggest thing, honestly, from the get-go that I was like, I don't know how I feel about it, gusset plates. I'll be honest with
those
you,
things
like,
freak me out.
They scare the fuck out of me. And that's just one of those things where I'm like, not my cup of tea, but I understand why people do it and why it gets a reaction. So all the power to people that do it, but just not my thing. Not the biggest on barbed wire as well. I've had my experiences with it, and it's just not my thing. There's certain things in deathmatch, like fucking light tubes. Honestly, like when I had my first deathmatch with Kyle, and I want to tip the cap to that Kyle as well, because
absolute beauty, that was
I want to give him the utmost respect, because going into that match, the nerves that I had and the feeling that I had, like I didn't know exactly what to expect. I'd seen it before. I had done commentary for it. I had even done a couple of I refereed for a few death matches as well, but just actually participating in one, I wasn't too sure what to expect. And as well as, I believe it may have been my first no ring match as well as a death match, if I'm not mistaken. So there was just a bunch of different elements that were going into it, and Kyle was a complete professional. We had, honestly, he's the reason why I'm continuing to do this. If that went to shit, I probably would have not done this again. But yeah, that first death match was honestly like I understood why after that match. I was like, okay, I get it now. I get why people do this. And with in regards to Canadian deathmatch, like I'm saying, they're very good with respecting my boundaries. They're very good with even giving me like creative freedom and being able to present myself in the way that I want to present myself, instead of like, you know, kind of changing up what I'm doing to fit their mold. And not that I would have had to do that, I don't think at all, because that's not the type of people they are. But it's really refreshing that they, anytime I kind of throw them an idea, they're like, yeah, okay, let's go with that. Like, I'll peel back the curtain just a tad bit. The No Mercy graphic that went out, it wasn't made by Maddie. Canadian Deathmatch, it was actually made by me.
Dude, before you continue, I absolutely fucking love that graphic. Like, not even just because you're on, but that graphic is awesome. Just No Mercy 64 is just great.
And when we were spitballing ideas for the match, I think the idea of like that got brought up, and I was like, yo, what if we do like a No Mercy bar brawl? Because it was the APA set in the game. It got brought up, like a picture of that. It's like, yo, what if we do this? And it's like, what if we just call it literally a No Mercy bar brawl? And it was like, oh, okay. And then we all started just like conglomerating on ideas and like coming up with, oh, yo, we should do like an actual No Mercy style match graphic. So Billy started like doing up some cause, and I took the screenshots of them, and then just like looked at a menu screen of No Mercy before you go into the match, and like tried to replicate it as much as possible, and just like, of course, added the advertisements and everything on it. But it was just all these little things where I love being creative like that, and just being able to express that creative freedom again with Canadian Deathmatch, and them being so open to it. I play such a bad guy, and I play the character that I do, but I am very grateful for the platform that they have, because it's allowed me to add to the diversity that I present as Matthew Grant, the professional wrestler. So, yeah, again, I play an awesome fucking heel sometimes. But
to what you said there, though, like, it allows you to be Matthew Grant, the professional wrestler, but it also lets you be Matthew Grant, the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
In helping build a brand around the boys.
Absolutely. And like being able to work with some guys and do some things I've never done before. Like, again, like we just brought up, like almost 10 years in wrestling and never even contemplated doing death matches prior to this. Maybe like I had the offers, but with how things were presented, it wasn't even like a thought. But then this all got brought up, and it's been a really fun run with the Canadian Deathmatch so far. I'm looking forward to was it June 20th?
June 20th, Sneaky D's.
Yeah, Sneaky D's. The last time I was at Sneaky D's, it was me and Brian Samuels in the middle of a friggin' snowstorm, and I didn't come out on the winning end, but this time we've got Industry, myself, and Josh Vander Cruz. We've got Hardcore and Rush Rancid, Death Dealers, or I like to call them the fuck faces. Yeah, I'm looking forward to being in a ring with both of those guys, technically for, or I guess outside of a ring. It's a no-ring show. Being in a match with those guys for the first time. I've seen a lot of what Hardcore can do. I've been around Rush Rancid in locker rooms quite a bit. So it'll be very interesting to see if they're ready for what myself and Josh Vander Cruz bring to the table, because we've sent in a promo to Canadian Deathmatch that they haven't aired yet. But basically what we're saying going into it is, you know, we have myself, we have Josh Vander Cruz. You never know who else could join the industry.
So with that said, tell me a little bit more about the industry. Like, I'm still relatively new to a lot of you guys. I was just introduced to you guys April 11th. I'm familiar enough around the scene of who is who, but I'm still learning like you and Vander Cruz. So if you could tell me a little bit more about the industry, that'd be great.
So the industry, basically, we are very against what Canadian Deathmatch is as a whole and what they present. We are, I don't want to say anti-deathmatch because I don't necessarily think that's it, but it's anti the guys that they get behind. You got a guy like Tyler Arrow, who he's my biggest rival. We've done some crazy shit together, but he's willing to kill himself for the Canadian Deathmatch fans. But then Canadian Deathmatch just kind of moves on and does their thing. And yeah, he came back, he gets this big ovation, whatever. But it's like, you kill yourself and do that stuff for the fans for what? And we have never gotten the opportunities that we deserve. I mean, Josh getting into the Crazy Eight in the finals, he basically got triple teamed and eliminated. And I get it, like, maybe you thought industry was going to get involved, but I was already out of the building at that point. Between the shenanigans that went on with Jesse Amato, we're not even going to talk about that. And the fact that I had another show that day, and that was public knowledge. So that we have just getting behind guys that truly I believe aren't on the level that we present. And you know, you got a guy like PD Skills who clearly seen that light, and that's why he did what he did to Arrow. You got guys around like Brandon St. James who walk in and command the respect that they deserve, and then they win championships. These are the guys that Canadian Deathmatch refused to get behind. But then they get behind the Tyler Arrows, the Brian Samuels. Brian Samuels, a guy who has been around for, you know, a cup of coffee in the deathmatch scene like myself. But for some reason, instead of giving me my flowers and giving me those opportunities, he continues to get them, and he continues to drop the ball every single time. So it's like, we as the industry, we don't necessarily hate Canadian Deathmatch. We hate the idea of Canadian Deathmatch. But if we took it over in our vision, then those guys like PD Skills, like Brandon St. James, like myself, like Vander Cruz, and like the people who wanted to follow the industry's vision would be getting those opportunities. So it
sounds like a faction to get behind. I'm just saying.
It's one of those things where, yeah, exactly that. We're basically putting people on notice. And I'll say this right here, right now, because I am so damn confident that If Arrow walks out with that Canadian Deathmatch Championship, hell, if it's Skills that walks out with the championship, I'm gonna say this right here, right now. Matthew Grant will be the Canadian Deathmatch champion. And when it happens, you can roll this clip back and you can watch me tell you these exact words. I told you so.
Doesn't sound like a prediction. It sounds like a spoiler, my friends. Two things. One, in the match at Crazy 8 on April 11th between Hardcore and Vander Cruz, you're not going to like me on this part, but Vander Cruz was dropped on his head on the Off the Top Championship in that match.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I seen that stupid championship that shouldn't have been anyway. Listen, the idea that this is another thing. Thank you. You've given me another rant to go on here because why do we do fans bring the weapons matches? Why do we encourage these stupid idiots that have no idea what we have to go through to make stuff for us to gain pain off of? What are we doing?
I mean, it sounds fun, entertaining to me. I mean, maybe not for you and your boy Cruz, but
I bet it does. Listen, that's fine. He may have got dropped on that championship. That's completely fine.
I think I have a little bit of his blood on it still.
May I ask you one particular question? Do you remember the result of that match?
I do.
What was that again? I can't remember.
Vander Cruz went on to the final of the tournament after beating Hardcore in that match.
And Hardcore lost what again? Because like Brian Samuels, like all these guys that Canadian Deathmatch likes to get behind and promote, they're all losers. And they all drop the ball. And that's what the industry doesn't do. You see, when we get fair opportunities, not fatal four ways where the entire match teams up on the group. No, not that. Not biased referees, or should I say ring announcers that somehow become referees all of a sudden, counting 1, 2, 3s on impromptu matches that you don't sign up for. No, fair one-on-one opportunities like Josh Vander Cruz versus Hardcore. Hell, from day one, since I've been in Canadian Deathmatch, I haven't even technically got that fair opportunity because that match with Kyle, who was in his corner? Will Carroll. So since the moment I've stepped into the Canadian Deathmatch, I haven't received a fair opportunity. So, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I'm not the booker. I'm not anything. I'm just a bystander that enjoys pain.
All right. Then Booker Man, a Canadian Deathmatch. After we beat these stupid idiots, the Death Dealers, on June 20th, what you're going to do is you're going to give one of us, I'm not even necessarily saying a shot at the championship, because unlike all these other jabronis, we want to earn it. So you pick your best and put one of us against them after June 20th. When we get through Hardcore, when we get through Rush Rancid, when we finish with the Death Dealers, one of the industry will take on one of Canadian Deathmatch's best. And when the industry wins that match, I get what I want. And that is an opportunity at the Canadian Deathmatch Championship.
Listen, Billy, Sean, Dylan, Matty, you heard the man. He's laying it out there. It's up to you guys to answer that bell now. I want to peel back the curtain for 1 second because I kind of have a joke with this, but it is the Jesse Amato spot at Crazy 8. It has nothing to do with Jesse himself. It has something to do with the door pulling Hulk Hogan on you and refusing to sell.
Yeah, I don't know if we imported that door from one of those Japanese tables from Watchmania or something, or what was going on there. But yeah, man, that was. I actually sent it into Watchmania. I don't know if it ended up actually making the episode. It probably did. I haven't watched in a while, but Yeah, it sucked.
That
not
door
once,
was no
not twice,
selling.
but 3 times.
That door wanted to get its spotlight, that's for sure.
Apparently so, and it wanted me to feel as much pain as possible, and my back hurt like a motherfucker after that.
Even the doors are against the industry apparently now too. So
yeah, apparently so.
So tell me a little bit more about outside of Canadian Deathmatch, man. You're going all over Canada. You're going down to the United States. Like, where's your wrestling career taking you thus far? Like, you've named off your belts and where you've gone so far, but I mean, like, I want to know a little bit more. Where else have you gone?
Yeah, man. Like this year alone, I've had I guess over the past couple of years, honestly, I've had the pleasure of wrestling in California, New York, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, all over Ontario, the Maritimes. Yeah, I've just been trying to just get as many reps as possible, increase my marketability and my versatility, like what I can do to basically fit anywhere you need me. I'm like a puzzle piece. You fit me wherever you need me on a show, and I'll do whatever you need to the best of your ability, whether it's, again, a pre-show, an opening match, a main event, a tag team match, a trios match, a gimmick match, you name it, I'll do it, and I'll make sure that we get a reaction and have a good time and be safe. Professional wrestling at the end of the day is about having fun, and I try to remind myself about that every single time I go out the curtain. I've been afforded some opportunities to travel to places that I would have never have dreamed of since being in the business. I've been across the ring and in locker rooms and been around some people that I literally have watched on TV and have looked up to since a child. So, like, to have been able to live my dreams for the last almost 10 years plus, and being able to see my friends and my colleagues do the same. Very grateful for that. And the goal from here is just to keep moving forward. I want to be better than the day before. I mean, coming up this weekend, I'm in Ohio. I'm competing in a scramble to where the winner gets to face off against GCW superstar KJ Orso. Taking that very seriously. I get to go back to Barrie Wrestling this Sunday. So there's a lot on the horizon right now where I'm keeping myself as busy as possible, and I'm trying to be in as many places and promotions as possible. So, if you haven't checked out my body of work, follow me, Matthew Grant, First Days of 4 on all forms of social media. You can keep up with what I am doing and what I bring to the table and where I'm going to be, because I'm somebody who likes to promote what I'm doing. I promote all my shows. I usually put up videos to promote my shows, as well as I think it's just very important to interact with your fan base. So, you find me on social media, you hit me up on social media. I'll be sure to interact with it.
Now, I got a question, because you're a social media guy. You like to present yourself in that sense. In the last, we can say 20 years, I think it'll make sense. You've been wrestling for probably as long as I have. I think you might be a little bit younger than I am. But would you say that wrestling from the 90s, early 2000s, compared to the late 2010s and into the 20s, social media has helped wrestlers grow their character outside of the promotions and rings?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You look at guys like Ben Bishop, Richard Holiday, on the independent level. You got look at Danhausen. Danhausen's the absolute epitome of a perfect reason why social media is working in this day and age, just because a guy like Danhausen, maybe he would have been on TV and doing stuff before, but you look at the popularity he has produced from, his backstage vignettes and him just being a goofball on his YouTube channel and on people's social media platforms and whatever the case may be. I think whatever you're doing on social media is adding to your image, and whether that's negative stuff, whether that's positive stuff, that's on you to control. I like to use the phrase control the controllable, because there may be stuff that, people maybe get opportunities ahead of you, or you may have stuff, roadblocks in your way, or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, if you can control what you can control, then you present yourself the best hand to move forward as much as possible. When you're complaining, when you're boo-boo face about stuff, when you're getting an ego for no reason, these are all things that I've seen throughout my run as well. And it's just like, these are the guys that fade out pretty quickly. So there's a reason why I've been around for as long as I have on a very consistent basis. And there's a reason why I continue to grow and build these connections and continue to travel and do as much as I can in professional wrestling. Is because you got to have that attitude. And that goes back to social media. Present yourself in a positive way and use social media to the best of your ability. Make videos, put out content, let people know where you're going to be, because the more you build your fan base, look at Danhausen. We would have never thought that he'd be in the position that he is. But dude just had a segment with John Cena on WrestleMania.
Right. And he's even hit the, excuse me, I'm trying to word this properly. I'm starting over words a little bit. The mainstream. As we're recording this episode, it's May 26th. And he is all over the New York Knicks, who just made the NBA final. And
that's it. That's it, man. And that's because of social media. That is 100% because of social media, because he's doing these backstage vignettes, cursing people, Yeah.
What was I had a question and now I forgot. So do you have aspirations to go over to New Japan and stuff like that and hit up the circuits over there?
So for me, travel, honestly, is my biggest thing I love about professional wrestling. And apparently there's some stuff going on behind me. Don't mind me. I don't know if you can hear that.
Oh, I hear it. It's fine. It's happening around here too. We're good.
All right.
Dog barking and everything. Big Papa Pump's coming out somewhere, guys.
Doing it live, baby. Doing it live. What happens when you live on a main street in Hamilton? But anyways, I would love to travel. I truly, my biggest goal in professional wrestling is to get to the UK. That's a lot of what I was watching early on in my independent career that I get inspiration from still to this day. Our tag team move is Empire, the SFTM, the elevated code breaker off the shoulders. We literally took that from a team in the UK, CCK. So it's a lot of what we do is inspired by that scene, and I very much love what that scene brings to the table and has brought to the table over the years. So if I get the opportunity ever to go over there, that would be huge. I've also watched some of the people in my scene, in our scene, like Von Vertigo, like Gabriel Fuerza, guys like early, KBK, Johnny DeLuca, Rajon Husher. A lot of these guys have been able to go over there and have positive experiences, and to see that and to see our guys being able to get opportunities to grow over there, it inspires me to be able to get over there as well. So, I love the opportunity to go to the UK. Yeah, New Japan, anything, anywhere, man. I just want to wrestle. I just want to travel. I just want to add to the resume as much as humanly possible, because the band,
you're never done learning, right? So
the brand I've been able to build over the last almost 10 years, it doesn't happen without doing all those drives and being able to travel and being able to grow as much as humanly possible. So if I can continue to do that and get out of this bubble, because that's the one thing I stress to newer wrestlers, it's you got to get out of this bubble. You got to travel, because you're not going to get seen in Ontario. As much as the scene is absolutely amazing and I love it, it's just
not there. Yeah.
The Canadian wrestling scene as a whole doesn't get the flowers that it deserves at all. You got certain, gems that get out of the bubble.
Well, let's look at it very realistically, right? There's about 1,000, maybe we'll say 5,000 indie wrestlers that come out of Ontario, right? This obviously might be inflated, might not be. And I can only think of 3 that have actually done anything coming out of Toronto, or 4. Trish, Edge, Christian, and Ethan.
Josh Alexander. You've got Dark Order and AEW Ring of Honor.
I guess I'm
there's a
saying
few.
bigger names. I apologize. I'm
Yeah,
missing
no, that's
sure.
fine. There's a few like, and the way I look at it is like, if you're making a living in professional wrestling, whether it's on TV or off TV, I mean, you look at a guy like Sway Archer, who's working behind the scenes, making gear. I mean, he's still working in professional wrestling. He's still making a living in professional wrestling. So, like, I think that's the goal at the end of the day, whether it's on screen, off screen, being able to make a living and doing what I love. I've been able to do some really cool things, but I can't say it's my full-time job yet, and that's definitely the goal at the end of the day. Am I going to continue to keep pushing towards that? Absolutely.
I mean, and as you should. I mean, I think that's every wrestler's aspiration, is to go from the shoot job to that being everything.
Yeah.
When I spoke to Hardcore earlier in this season, he said, and had nothing to do with you specifically or anybody specifically, but he said the one match in the match that he had with Banner the one spot, and I watched you because you went right in front of me, the water bottle or the water gallon jug shot. He says those absolutely suck more than anything because they leave a ringing in your ears. You took one, and I watched you stumble across in front of me. So can you tell me what that's like from your perspective?
Yeah, it fucking sucked. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? No, yeah, like, I think anytime you get hit with a weapon, it's gonna suck. But especially when you get knocked in the head, when you're not expecting it, at the very least as well. Yeah, hardcore brings it. I don't have to like him. I don't have to even respect him, but I can say that he brings it, and I know that he's going to bring it alongside Rush on the 20th. So yeah, that's fine. You bring it all you want. I can promise you that you bring it as much as you want, but you will not be walking out with that W. And that's all that matters.
Now, I'm going to peel back a little bit more towards Ethan for a second. When you see guys like Ethan going up, and again, you've made it very clear, it's not jealousy, it's not envious. You're happy for your friends. But like, with these guys growing up or in the industry with you, do you ever feel like sometimes, because I'm assuming it, like myself, it creeps in that, oh man, I'm getting left behind kind of thing?
Maybe so, but like, at the same time, like, I'd be lying to say that I put in nearly the amount of work that those guys have. Those guys were doing those 8-9 hour drives every single weekend for 10 plus years. I've been traveling to the States on a pretty consistent basis in the last 5 years, but like, you gotta just continue to do those drives, make those connections, and I think all the hard work paid off over the years for guys like Ethan Page, Josh Alexander, Stu Grayson, Neil Luno, guys that are getting picked up and being used in a prominent level. It's because they've put in that time and effort. So I can sit here and be envious and be jealous and be angry and feel whatever type of way I want to, but until I put in the amount of work that they do and then some, I can't really say much. I mean, my biggest example when people like ask me stuff like this is like, I look at a guy like Eddie Kingston. He had been wrestling.
He has no business in wrestling, but he's doing it.
Yeah. He had been wrestling for 20 years. He was getting ready to wrap up, and it was just one simple promo he cut on an independent show that got him noticed, and he took advantage of that one opportunity, and he ended up getting a contract, and the rest is history. So it's like, Eddie is the example of like, you can't give up no matter how much you go through, how many people alongside you see, maybe you get an opportunity that you think you deserve. You got to just keep a level head. You're your own competition, and it goes back to control the controllable.
And speaking of that, you say it like that, and maybe I'll steal a little paraphrasing from EC3, but control your narrative.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, despite how this episode started off, obviously I was having some fun with Matt here. But man, I respect the amount of the body of work you put together that I've seen thus far. It is great. You look incredibly athletic out there. You're looking safe. You look like you've been in the business for 20 years, 10. your mic skills are amazing, dude. I've watched some promos you've got. You're doing great at what you're doing, dude.
Thank you. I think it's just trying to be better than the day before. Try and put the best foot forward for not only just yourself, but any promotion that gives you that opportunity, you're representing them as well. And I think you got to remember that as well. Doesn't matter if it's in front of one person, 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people. It doesn't matter the amount of people that are going to be in that room. What matters is you give them a memory, you give them an experience to go home and to want to come back, because without the fans, without the people that support the show, we don't have this at all. So I think at the end of the day, as long as you just keep putting your best foot forward, then that's what matters.
I think that's what keeps bringing me back to doing this. I took not that you would know this, I took a year off from podcasting, and I struggled a lot mentally because there's a lot of people in this space for podcasting, whether it be wrestling, sports, anything. There's just a lot of people, and I kept holding myself up to a light that I knew I couldn't achieve. I'm seeing guys that I started with, not necessarily on my own brand, but like started with at the same time, watching them far excel what I can do, getting opportunities of more than I can do. And it hit me a little hard, and it knocked me down pretty well. And I'm not afraid to admit that it beat me up pretty good, man. And I hit a point where I was like, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then,
hey man, honestly, it happened to me once upon a time with podcast stuff too, man. It's a lot. It really is, but you just got to remember, put that best foot forward, and just your competition is yourself. That's it.
But if I don't come back, I don't get to have cool conversations with people like you, and that's what I do it for. I don't do it for the millions of people. I do it for myself and getting to know a little bit more on the independent scene.
Yeah, man. Building these connections and having these conversations are very important. So I appreciate you guys having me on. And as much as I play the dickhead on screen, I am very grateful for platforms like you guys, because you're helping independent wrestling grow too. And without these platforms, then we don't have independent wrestling. So thank you.
My pleasure is mine. I have to ask, because you've said it a few times now, and I said it too, but you said control, you can control. Being the heel that you are, and I'm not going to pull the curtain back too far, has there ever been a time where you're doing the crowd work and you absolutely have to watch what you say because you want to say one thing, but there's millions of, well, not millions, but thousands of cameras on you at that time?
Oh yeah, there's been several instances I've gotten to it. Although I've had instances where I just let those words slip, and I'm like, it happened, whatever. But like, I don't think I've ever gotten in a circumstance where like I'm gonna drop something that's gonna get me canceled or anything like that. It would be more like if I'm on a family friendly show and I were to go to drop like an F-bomb or something like that, and I sometimes something slips and I'm just like, shit. Or like when you're wrestling in a church and you go, I swear to God, and I'm just like, oh no. Stuff like that happens from time to time, but like that goes back to just being a professional and knowing the space that you're in, and knowing your audience as well. So like in a Canadian deathmatch scene, I can say whatever the fuck I want and know that I'm going to be okay. But if I'm wrestling on let's say a Barrie wrestling show where it's at a church and it's a very family-friendly oriented show, I know, okay, I got to watch what I'm saying here. I got to keep it PG.
Yeah, naturally. Being a smaller guy in stature to most, and that's respect to what you're athletically able to do as well, what is your biggest drawable comparisons that you get from promoters or even other wrestlers?
I think it's just like, I don't think they know what I'm necessarily capable of until it happens. And that's, maybe it's a fault of my own for not being like, so I technically have Crohn's disease. It's basically a situation where my digestive system isn't necessarily the greatest. It's the reason
I have a good friend that her son has that, so I'm well versed in it, but continue with the explanation.
So essentially it's very hard for me to put on weight. So I do get a lot of shit from people for being as small as I am, and like, don't get me wrong, I have tried to put on weight. It is something that is extremely hard to do. But anyways, point being, so people see me, they're not capable of they're not necessarily aware and capable of what I can bring to the table. So when I get those opportunities sometimes, and it's happened several times, whether it's been in a promotion for Combat One in Michigan. I've had it happen most recently, even this past weekend at Norfolk County Championship Wrestling, where I get booked in positions where I gotta make guys look, like $1 million and bump my ass off for them, sell out for them, and that's fine. I'm the type of person, I'll do whatever the promoters tell me to do, and I'll do my job to the best of my ability. And I think when I do that, and I don't do it with a boo-boo face, and I'm not against being a team player, I think people are like, oh, and then I go out and I do bump my ass off, and I do get thrown around, and I do get a good reaction when I'm on the microphone. And these are things that are all qualities that I present and I bring to the table as a worker. So, when people see my size, they're very thrown off sometimes. But then when I get that opportunity to show what I'm capable of, it's oh shit, you could actually go.
Hey, but that's the what do they say? The best things come in the smallest packages, right?
You said it, not me.
I remember April 11th again. My wife actually, when she's seen you, she's like, "Man, he looks familiar." She's never seen you wrestle, because she's not big into wrestling. She enjoys wrestling, just not that big. But then she's like, halfway through your match, or when you're out there with Cruz in the hardcore match, she's like, "Fuck, he looks like your cousin Tyler." And I was like, "Holy fuck, he does." I'll have to send you a picture, but you look almost close to my cousin.
That is really funny.
Ironically, Rush Rancid and when I first met him, he's like, "Fuck, you look like my cousin." Yeah, it's just a funny moment there.
Full circle.
Yeah. Man, it's excellent to sit and talk to people who have been in the business 10 years, or as I called it, 20 years, because I'm an idiot. I enjoy these conversations because there's so much. It's almost, and I hate to steal Jericho's phrase, but it's like a learning tree. I'm not in the business of what you guys are, but I'm trying to work my way into it, and I just love learning.
You never stop learning with this stuff, and it's definitely something to always remember.
So you just brought up Norfolk, which this was past weekend as we were recording. So you're telling me, shout out to Kai Elizabeth here, that she didn't accept your open challenge?
No, instead it was accepted by big old Derwin Jackson, and we're not gonna get into that because we don't need to talk about what happened there, because my back's still sore. I got icy hot on it right now. So
I don't know what part of the 14 days I'm dropping this episode yet, but man, every day from June 14th.
It better be number one. What are we doing here?
Oh, I can't do that. I got it all, but I'll figure it out. Don't worry. Everything drops June 1st, though, so you don't have to worry about that. Everybody will hear your voice June 1st on Spotify. That's an instant. So, but promote what you need to promote. I'm sure you have many dates coming up over the summer, my guy. Please shout out everybody.
Yeah, let's do it. So you said this dropping June 1st. So what I promoted already obviously doesn't matter, but I am at Mega Championship Wrestling in Ohio this weekend. Colossal Con, one of the biggest Comic Cons there is. I will be there and I will be performing. I am very excited. I will be in Dunnville, Ontario on Saturday for FE's.
Still have no idea where that fucking place is.
That's going to be an absolute blast. And KJ Orso, I will be seeing you very, very soon, because when I win that invitational scramble, it's me and you one-on-one in July, and I'm very much looking forward to that. Barry Wrestling coming up, and then it's just follow me, honestly, at Matthew Grant First Days of 4. I will put all my stuff. I'm just looking at my calendar right now. I've got 10 dates in the month of June. I've got more dates than I can count here in the month of July. My August is super busy too. So just keep following along with what I'm doing, and I hope to see you at a show. If you do see me at a show, come over and say hi. No pressure to buy any merch or anything like that. I'm not one of those guys. I like interacting with my fans. I like interacting with the people who support professional wrestling. So don't be afraid to come say hi. I may play a complete piece of shit sometimes, but I promise you, I will not be a piece of shit to you when you come up to me.
Or he might, but that's a part of the gig, so deal with it.
Yeah. If we're like mid-show, I can't promise anything, but catch me in intermission, and I won't be a dick. I promise.
Before I end out my pod here, I'm gonna steal a question from my mentor Will Gray. Is hot dog a sandwich?
I think so.
It's
like sandwich. There's meat in the middle. Yeah, I'm hot dog sandwich. Fuck it.
All right, we got our answer there. Shout out to Will Gray. Matt, I'm appreciative of your time. I'm glad we could figure a time that this worked out for both of us.
Yes, thank you very much. We'll do my schedule.
Hey man, that's what I love to do. If I can do it and I can facilitate it, I love to do it, especially because I get good conversations like this, and I absolutely love it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're following him on all socials that he's plugged. Make sure you're going and buying his merch, whether you love him, you hate him, you buy his merch, you want to wipe your ass with it. It doesn't matter because you're buying it and supporting independent wrestling. Make sure you're heading on to all shows, supporting your indie friends, your indie wrestlers, your local scene. You try to remember you have more fun at a local indie show than you'll ever have at a Fed show. And I say that
and I confirm. As somebody who's been to every single Fed show that you can think of, from the Raws and the SmackDowns, the house shows, to all the way up to the WrestleManias, I promise you the intimacy, the experience that you get in an independent show is unlike anything you'll ever get. So come on out to an independent show. It was my cousin who convinced me to go to an independent show for the first time all those years ago, and it was one of the best experiences of my life, and it changed my entire life. So maybe you'll do that for you too. Come on out and support.
Hell yeah. Again, ladies and gentlemen, support the indies, support Matt, support the industry, support the industry as a whole in independent wrestling. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Shadowsphere. Good night.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Welcome to the Shadowsphere.